Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Anything for my princess.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Yeah, woo! We don't have a studio audience, so I'm trying to bring that up. But guys, how you doing? Welcome to Big Bang Cinema. My name's Isaac, the Long Sweater Anderson.
I am Tyler, Nice Shirt Keen.
And this is a movie show where we talk about movie news.
Movie reviews.
And everything in between. I didn't think you were going to hit it.
I hit it.
Oh, well,
I totally hit it next time, too.
Okay, well, let's make sure it's the phrase that you're talking about there. And on the other side of the camera, let's just let him introduce his own self.
I'm Chris. You may recognize my voice from Game On every Thursday from 1 to 2 on 89.1 FM, or your source for gaming music, news, reviews, and remixes.
Just soothes my heartburn right out of my body whenever he talks.
Yes, it
Good.
does.
Thank you, Chris, for being here. Really do appreciate it. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's go ahead and get right into our movie news. Now, what is our first item of business, Tyler?
I believe it's about the Christian Bale, about him in the Vice trailer.
The Christian Bale in the Vice trailer.
Yeah, he is not
The
a
trailer.
Christian Bale. He is the Christian Bale.
Okay, well, that doesn't look like Christian Bale to me. It looks like Dick Cheney.
It looks like Batman.
Well, that's definitely Christian Bale, by the way. And yeah, he's in this new movie.
So what hurts about him shooting somebody during a hunting expedition?
That's definitely going to be part of it. If it's not, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. So if you don't know, this is a trailer that revolves around Adam McKay directed film about Dick Cheney and his time as Vice President of the United States and a little bit before and after. And it stars Christian Bale as Richard himself. I call him Richard because the other one is probably not appropriate just to say by itself. But yeah, what did you think about the trailer, Tyler?
You know who he looks like to me? Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, Richard.
Don't he look like Richard Dreyfuss?
Well, Richard Dreyfuss played Dick Cheney back in W, the Oliver Stone film. So I thought kind of the same thing, but Christian Bale really went all out for this, man.
Yes, he put on a lot of weight, and his hair fell out for it.
Well, also Sam Rockwell is going to be playing George W.
Which he looks just like George W.
He sounds really good too. He sounds like George W.
I mean, he's about Sam Rockwell doing a Sam Rockwell job. So
Yeah, I mean, he's
incredible.
doing like a played-up version of George W. And I'm okay with that. You know, and if you don't know who Adam McKay is the guy that directed the Anchorman movies. He also directed The Big Short, and he's.
Is this a comedy film?
It's going to be like a Big Short kind of comedy, like, funny thing, you know. And I don't really know. I'm very, very interested to see how it is. Obviously, they're going to try to, you know, kind of almost make a fool out of him, or like try to make him as like, you know, a little bit more hyped up than what it really was. I think the casting is like spot on. Christian Bale, you know, along with the weight gain, I think he really does have the acting chops to pull something like this off.
So
But
does Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell does too. My fear with him, I hope it's not just like one note. Yeah, I'm a redneck from Texas. You like me? I'm president. You know, Dick Cheney just makes all my decisions. I hope it's not just like that the whole time. You know.
I don't like broccoli either.
What?
He said that.
He did?
Yeah, big meeting. He said, I don't like
George
eating
Bush
broccoli.
said so many other things.
Yeah.
But I think we have a picture of comparing, but that just kind of shows how big that Christian Bale got in this. Compared to where he was, but it's just kind of like it's really, really insane. Just to see those photos, how close they are. You know,
You got one with Sam Rockwell?
I don't have the photo of Sam Rockwell. No, I think it's the only photo we have. But I mean, like you can see in the trailer, like he's very big. He got even bigger than he did in American Hustle, and I think that's all we got right there. But I mean, that's fine. I mean, you get the picture. I'm excited to see this movie. Hopefully, it's not a one-note performance out of this, and hopefully it's totally consistent. I don't know. Well, you got anything else to add on that?
I'm looking forward to it.
Heard. Speaking of looking forward to
I
it,
just want to see him shoot somebody.
well, we'll go with that one. Shoot somebody right in the face.
Boom! I thought he was a bird. Boom!
Yeah, that's quite a difference. But speaking about shooting your friends in the face, Into the Spider-Verse just came out with a new trailer.
Oh boy, that's not going to fail.
Well, we'll get into that. So, Into the Spider-Verse is produced by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and it stars Miles Morales, a.k.a. Another version of Spider-Man that's not Peter Parker, and all of a sudden there's all these different versions of Spider-Man coming to his universe, and he doesn't know what to do, and they kind of have to work together to fight a big old evil. So that's what it looks like right now. Tyler, what do you think of the trailer?
Well, it's got nausea-inducing animation.
Nausea-inducing animation.
Yeah.
See, I can get behind this because I talked a little bit with you, Chris, about the.
I'm not lying, man. I'm getting a headache right here from looking at it.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm interested in it. It kind of looks like one of those books in the library that like they read the kids and you don't read yourself. As far as the art style, it's something different. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, I kind of like it, but I get what you say. It's kind of like it's so different and it's kind of jumpy,
No,
and it looks like a book. You know what I mean?
It looks like really poor stop animation.
It kind of looks like like a college student's kind of final project or something like that. I mean, it's obviously. In the words of George Lucas, is stylistically designed to be that way. They can't take it out, but maybe they can diminish the effects of it. But as far as kind of the storyline, like, what are you feeling on that? Like, do you think an animated Spider-Man movie like that could work?
I suppose, man. The only problem is a lot of people don't know who the other Spider-Men are.
Okay, well, let's kind of get into that. Chris, you saw the trailer a little earlier. Well, first off, what did you think about it? And second off, do you think that like something like this
Spider-Gwen
could be more interesting than like a live-action version?
I don't know about in comparison to like the live action version, but I definitely think this is an interesting concept because there are a lot of different versions of Spider-Man, and so like having all of them like come together in one sort of world is a very interesting concept that I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with it. So yeah. I'm personally excited for this movie.
The only problem I had with it was when they actually did it in comic, it kind of sucked, and the game kind of sucked for it too. Because you got Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man. Spider-Man Noir is pretty interesting. Spider-Gwen's pretty interesting. Spider-Ham, I don't know why they chose to include Spider-Ham into it.
Comic relief.
Yeah. John Mulaney, the comedian's playing him, by the way.
They're all comic relief. Man.
Wait, who's
John Mulaney, the comedian? He's playing Spider-Pig.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Not Spider-Pig, Spider-Ham.
Whatever. I don't know. I don't
Peter
read comic
Porker.
Same
books.
difference.
I don't read comic books. I watch movies.
No.
There's a big difference.
I think they're probably going to have Spider-Man 2099. Spider-Man, I see Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, he's Ultimate Spider-Man.
Is Noir Spider-Man? Or?
That's Spider-Man Noir. He carries 2 45s.
Oh, of course, just like anybody does.
Yeah.
But as far as like this concept goes, I think really opening it up to something that really probably wouldn't work so well in live action, which I like the fact that they're doing this concept that they can do in live action, and it's not just like a regular kind of story like this. Hopefully they use it to its advantages, and hopefully it's not just like pandering children kind of humor and like really obvious thing where, did you think he saw us? And the person passes out, or like they see them and scream. It's like, maybe they didn't see us. Ah! And that's the joke. It's like, wow, he must really not like spiders. And like that kind of jokes.
Well, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting that they're doing something different from all the Spider-Man movies we got in the past.
Yeah. Again, I've never seen anything quite like this, which is why I'm very curious to see it. And we've also never seen Miles Morales on the big screen like this. So,
yeah.
Which is another interesting thing.
Although Miles Morales did show up in the recent Spider-Man game.
Yeah, but we never seen him as Spider-Man in a movie, though.
True, yeah.
Yeah. So, again, I'm excited for it.
Well, that means Spider-Man's got to die first.
Well, speaking about dying first, Rocket Man is a movie all about Elton John. And it just came out with a trailer. The trailer was just released. This is a biopic on Elton John, the famous musician from the 70s and whatnot. Sang a song called Rocket Man, which the movie is named after. He's played by Taron Egerton, a.k.a. the Kingsman from Kingsman. Eggsy.
What? Hold on.
That's Eggsy from...
No, I was just thinking, wasn't he also in that movie too?
Yeah, he was in the second one, which is probably something that tied into this because Taron Egerton's playing him. I don't know. As far as kind of the look of Elton John in this one, it's pretty close. It's kind of it doesn't quite look. I call it great value look, where it's just kind of like they're just trying very hard to make it look like it, but it's not really anywhere close. It's kind of close. He doesn't sound like him very much. Is the only thing. I don't know if that's him singing in the trailer or whatnot, but I mean, it's not like spot on like Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury or anything like that. But I can suspend that if the performance is really awesome. The big thing I took away from this was the director of this movie is Dexter Fletcher, which is not a a comic book hero. It's a guy. He's an actor. He's also a director, and he was the one that also directed Bohemian Rhapsody. So he's directed 2 big biopics of big '70s stars.
That
so,
aren't out yet.
That aren't out yet. And the big thing was he's almost like a director for hire. Dexter Fletcher is, because I mean he got called in at the very last minute to do Bohemian Rhapsody in place of Bryan Singer, who got fired from that movie, and he's doing this at the same time. I don't know. That concerns me a little bit.
What if Freddie Mercury shows up in this movie? And it's a crossover between the 2 films.
Well, I could care less about that. Like I'm more concerned about
what if they start doing a shared universe of biopics where it's the same actors like playing these British musicians?
Well, that'd be kind of neat. But
oh snap! My brain just exploded.
As far as this goes, I think this one was done before Bohemian Rhapsody.
McGregor as Sting.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yes.
A few years ago, I would say Terrence Stamp is Sting, but that would have been great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as this one goes, like the director, I feel like he probably devoted a lot of his time and effort into this, which makes me feel like this was
Coherent.
Coherent. Yeah. Isn't that kind of ironic? I couldn't get a coherent word out. It's really ironic.
It's like you said cocodrie. Cocodrie. That's French for crocodile.
Oh, well, sure it is.
Crocodile Rock.
I don't know. We're talking about movies right now.
What?
I know. I got the reference. But yeah, I don't know. What as far as the trailer goes, what do you think of the trailer?
He looks like Elton John.
Okay, what do you think about, like, as far as kind of like where you think it's going to go with the story, or?
I think he's not going to die in the end.
Well, thanks for that.
I don't think he's going to die in the end. But, I mean, I really don't know a lot about Elton John's life to really say anything about it yet. But, I mean, if it looks like, I guess it looks like something Elton John would have been into, like the costumes and the parties and the...
Well, I mean, Elton John was like a really flamboyant man. Like, if you don't really know too much about Elton John, he was known for kind of like his theatrics, not Liberace theatrics, but he wore big flamboyant kind of costumes and everything. He was very openly homosexual, and I don't know how much of that is going to play into the movie, because Freddie Mercury was also a homosexual, and they said they took that pretty much completely out of the film. So I don't know if they're going to shy away from some aspects in his life. And some of the best biopics is the ones that delve a little bit deeper into certain aspects of their life that we really haven't, don't know too much about. And that's kind of really what I want to see in this. Try to discover something that's not just surface level, besides the fact that, Elton John was gay, he could play piano, he had a weird childhood, or, something like that,
Elton John's not even his real name.
Yeah, and something like that. I hope we go a little bit deeper than that. Taron Egerton, I really like his acting. If we can get something with a little bit more depth and nuance, then I think Bohemian Rhapsody is going to be. And granted, I haven't seen it, just from what I figure. I think we're going to do something good, but I think we're going to get a very similar movie in between this and Bohemian Rhapsody, because the same guy directed it. But
Jack Black is Elvis Costello.
I don't buy that at all.
No, you don't.
It's like no, not at all. Chris, do you have anything to add on this?
Not particularly.
Heard.
You know who Elton John is?
No, actually I don't.
All right.
You should pull him up. It's pretty good. Well, speaking about not knowing who it is,
He's one that did the Hold Me Closer Tony Danza song.
he's not gonna know what that is.
Hold me closer,
I
Tony Danza.
I don't think Chris knows who Tony Danza is.
That song, Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza.
He doesn't know what that is.
Also, isn't that Tiny Dancer?
No, it's Tony Danza.
No, it's Tiny Dancer.
Chris, hold on. I'm gonna go out of my way and high five you. You just proved
He
all
actually
wrong.
got it right. Yeah.
Ha!
He got it right, man. You got pop culture reference right.
Good. But you don't know who Tony Danza is, do you?
No, I don't.
He's
Okay,
the
well,
boss,
we got
man.
that one wrong.
He's the boss, bro. He's the boss.
Okay, well, you're getting out of my realm now. Anyway, last topic. Hellboy, the movie, just came out with a new poster that has David Harbour right there, bull horns out, and
My question: are they gonna do his feet right? In the comic book, he has little goat feet.
he has. They have
hooves.
they have better CGI than they did back in the old ones. So
See, but I also feel like the first 2 movies worked because it was Guillermo del Toro's vision. I mean, Guillermo del Toro was able to bring Mike Mignola's adapting his comics to real life. I mean, because honestly, if you see a Guillermo del Toro film and you see a Mike Mignola book, graphic novel, I mean, you kind of feel like there's a lot of shared influences there.
Yeah, well, as far as kind of like the way he looks, we talked about this a little a few months ago on the show when this that picture right here came out. I really like. He looks terrifying. Like he looks really intimidating, and it looks like real muscles.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a huge problem with the Guillermo del Toro ones. They're very highly stylized. Ron Perlman looked like he had like plastic abs on. See, I mean, that looks like a plastic chest, because it probably was. And granted, I love Ron Perlman's performance and everything, but it's a little bit more like a little bit more comic booky, fantasy kind of thing. This one looks like it's going for a little bit more of like a grounded approach. Granted, not DC grounded where everything's depressing and everything's dark and sad and miserable and there's no levity in anything.
Because if you read the comic, it's a really silly story, man. It looks terrifying, but they're really silly, man.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about Guillermo del Toro's things and how we think this one's going to differ from it.
Guillermo del Toro's, I mean, the story...
Guillermo del Toro. Remember that?
Yeah.
They don't remember that.
See, it was pretty accurate to the comic, man, because he kind of pulled out a lot of the lighthearted, the dark situation, but with the lighthearted and comedic view that they had in the comic. It's like that Mike Mignola has. He put on film. It was really pretty accurate. I mean, the story wasn't accurate, but the feel of it was pretty accurate. So I'm not sure this is going to be like a dark horror film where blowing off here. I mean, because they got a guy who's a German inside of a ghost suit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a guy who's slowly turning into from a fish to a giant frog.
Well, the big difference between this one was a PG-13. This one's going to be an R.
They have a Japanese soldier who turns into a werewolf.
Whatever that is.
I mean, they got a walking homunculus named Mike. Mike the homunculus.
Whew. I don't even want to envision that. But as far as this one goes, hopefully they don't fall into the trap of like just being vulgar for the sake of being vulgar.
Vulgar and evil, so sad and depressing.
Well, like that's a big issue.
My parents were killed, so I fight crime.
Well, like it's a big issue I'm having with anything that's going to go R-rated that you haven't seen R-rated before. It can go really awesome. Or it can go like, oh, we're just going to say all the bad words because we can. And usually that really like demeans the story and really kind of puts me out of the movie as a watcher.
Christine.
But like as far as which Christine?
The one back from the Stephen King, that the subject matter wasn't R-rated, but they had to throw in horrible foul language in it to push the R rating.
It's more so now, like where everything's got to be like red band and vulgar. It's kind of like the Happy Time Murders, where everything's like, it's funny because they're saying these words. Hopefully it serves the story and it's not just cheap like that.
But it's terrible.
As far as David Harbour, he played in Stranger Things. He's playing Hellboy now. Love the way he looks. I'm really excited to see where he takes the character and kind of takes him as far as like with his mindset and kind of like how it's going to differ from Ron Perlman, who's kind of like an old grumpy man. I don't know. Maybe he's going to play something a little bit more nuanced and not so this way, which is also good. But Chris, before we end, do you have anything to add on this?
Not really.
Have you seen Hellboy?
I've seen bits and pieces of Hellboy.
Heard.
It's like Tyler said. It looks like it's like like you said, the main character looks terrifying, but the story seems silly.
Yeah. Heard. Well, seeing bits and pieces will definitely scar you for life.
Because it's the whole story is silly and whimsical at the same time.
Heard.
The interaction between the characters.
Heard.
It's like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but someone gets murdered.
Well, I mean, someone gets murdered in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, too.
Oh, that's true.
But anyway, guys, that's all going to be it for our movie news. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns that you want to tell us, you can leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. We would love to hear what you guys have to say about the show. Any creative feedback we have. Mike, if you're watching, hi, how you doing? Leave us some feedback. I'll probably see you soon. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, we have a really fun segment. I don't want to spoil it, but it's going to be something good. Stay with us.
Fantastic.
When it comes to culinary arts, Nash Community College is here to turn your burning passion for food into a career. Our chefs, with over 70 years of highly qualified industry experience, are here to point you in the right direction, teaching and handing down classical culinary techniques that will improve your skills and help you cut your way into the food industry. Gain invaluable experience, vital to cooking and preparing delicious food, served in a personal and creative environment. To learn more about the Culinary Arts program, visit nashcc.edu.
It's time to pursue your career in veterinary medicine. Nash Community College now offers an Associate in Applied Science degree in Veterinary Medical Technology. This is your chance to become a registered vet tech and work with a variety of animals. Learn about radiology, client education, animal wellness, treatment, laboratory techniques, anesthesia, and more. Now accepting applications. Call 252-451-8390 or visit nashcc.edu/VMT today.
That's the best way to do it is do a straw. Like that. You done that?
No, I'm sure, but I've seen Jordan Belfort doing them in the movie.
Oh, hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Big Bang Cinema. My name's Isaac Anderson.
I am Tyler.
Guys, in the world we live in today, people live. And sometimes
People die.
people die. And therefore, people play them and get Oscars for it.
And they too will eventually die.
Yes.
So it kind of makes you wonder, is it all worth it?
Yeah. So,
Why do anything?
dang, well, I wasn't going to go that depressing on it.
We don't
Anyway.
need an existential crisis in the middle of the show.
But death is waiting.
So anyway, we thought it'd be a fun segment to talk about people playing people, which is actors that are playing real life people in biographical pictures. So we have two choices here, and both from the same director. Yeah, I don't know if you made that connection or not.
Martin Scorsese.
Well, I mean, I know you know who it is. I didn't know if you made the connection before now. Okay. Okay, so my choice is the Raging Bull himself, Jake LaMotta, played by none other than Robert De Niro. So if you don't know who Jake LaMotta was, that's Jake LaMotta on the other side of Robert De Niro right there. Jake LaMotta was a boxer back in the 40s, really prominent, and he kind of lost his way. He got into a lot of issues, gained a bunch of weight, and he never really got back to where he needed to be. And it's kind of it's a really interesting story. He's a very, very violent Italian man, and if you've never seen Raging Bull, I don't want to spoil too much for you, but Robert De Niro, his portrayal of him is probably one of my favorite performances I've seen in the movie. The way he plays him is just so like gripping and real, like to the point like when some of the scenes you feel like you don't need to be in the room because it's such a private moment in between two family members. His brother is played by Joe Pesci. If you don't know who that is, it's the fricka person from Home Alone.
Do I amuse you?
Yeah.
Do I make you laugh?
Well, it's also Goodfellas guy.
Haha, funny like a clown, funny.
But as far as kind of like a story goes, Robert De Niro went from like awesome shape to try to be Jake LaMotta in like his prime, and to like way overweight. And it's really shocking to see him get that fat. And he really got that fat, by the way. He really Martin Scorsese. I was watching the behind the scenes on this a few weeks ago, and Martin Scorsese said, "Yeah, I told him, he's like, yo, Robert De Niro, you don't have to put on all this weight. We can put makeup on you, make you look fatter." He's like, "No, I need to feel how Jake LaMotta felt at that time." And it was really sad to see Jake LaMotta go through that because I mean he was doing like stand-up comedy that really sucked, and he got in legal trouble for selling a minor alcohol and whatnot. But I don't know. Every single time I see it, it just really hits me every single time on a visceral level because that's about as close as we're probably going to see to a person like that. Because that's probably how Jake LaMotta was. In other movies, it's like Jake LaMotta sitting up there and he'd probably be like, "I'm the optimistic young boy that wants to be a boxer," and he's the great guy. But he's really not a good guy in this one. He's actually a terrible person. Jake LaMotta is like one of the worst people. He cheats on his wife. He's extremely violent. He talks about he's going to like punch people and kill people all the time. And it felt real. Like they didn't sugarcoat it. And I don't know. It's one of my favorite performances. Even if it's accurate or not, I just feel like I always feel something whenever I see it. And that's him at the end of the movie. It doesn't even look like Robert De Niro. When I first saw it, I'm like, who in the world's that? Like, because this happens at the beginning of the movie, and it's revealed that that's Jake LaMotta in the 60s. Okay. And it's just it's just depressing, but it's also like it hits you every single time. I don't know. That's my choice.
That's pretty sad, man. Well, Martin Scorsese did a movie not too long ago about another terrible person and his terrible life. It's about a man named Jordan Belfort who.
I thought you were going to say Brett Ratner.
Brett Ratner. Oh no,
he's not too far off from Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's
not as rich.
Well, no, he's not just as rich. I'm about to say because Jordan Belfort was actually successful. He's actually successful now. Jordan Belfort back in the 80s, he was played by, well, in this film he's played by Leonardo DiCaprio. And during the 80s, his first day on the stock market, he gets laid off. He gets a job working in penny stocks. Penny stocks are very, very small, worthless stocks. So, but you get 50% of the commission. So he has the idea to lie about the how much the companies are making to sell these penny stocks to millionaires for millions of dollars, but he gets 50% of the commission off of it. So that is highly, highly, highly illegal, and he was making millions off of it. And it's about his rise to the big leagues and then his fall after they pretty much figure out what he's doing. He creates a fake company. I mean, he's got a fake building with fake office workers in him. He goes the 9 yards, cheats on his wife, hooks up with the most beautiful woman in his town. She's called the Duchess. Eventually cheats on her too.
That's played by Margot Robbie, right?
Margot Robbie. He cheats on Margot Robbie.
How bad do you have to be to cheat on Margot Robbie?
I'm serious. Gets into drugs. He drives drunk. There's one part where he's tripping so hard he's trying to drive away, but he can't hardly get into his car. He's trying to crawl into it. Just a all around just terrible person. You're like,
He Bill Cosby.
Yeah, there he is right there. He can't get into it.
He Bill Cosby'd himself in that.
He Bill Cosby'd himself. There he is. He's like trying to drive, and he can't. He is so strung out he can't even get it.
That's something you should Google if you don't know what that is. Bill Cosbying yourself.
And
it's Quaaludes.
It is yeah, it was Quaaludes. He did take and he was just a god awful person. Then at the end, he gets caught by the FBI, and he rats out his friends that he convinced them to get that his friends didn't want to get involved in it. Well, he eventually gets them involved in it. Then he rats them out so he doesn't go to prison.
So as far as Leo's performance as Jordan Belfort,
it was perfect and amazing. I mean, I have to say like that is some of the best acting I've seen. I have to say I think he was nominated for Academy Award for Best Actor. What was one of his nominations, and it was I don't say it's 2008. It was 2008, 2009.
No, this was 2014.
2004. Dang, I thought this was a while back. Yeah,
no, it's 2014.
Dang.
Or it's 2012 rather. It's 2012. It was this last 10 years.
Yeah, it was
2012.
It was the same year Dallas Buyers Club.
2012. Then,
another biographical film that year. But he was, and then he eventually gets busted, goes to jail, gets off, and now he's a promotional speaker, and he also he does lectures on business. Which why would you want to pay a lot of money to go get business lessons from a guy who swindled millions out of investors?
Well, because there was a movie about him. That's exactly why. Yeah. But guys, I really do appreciate you guys watching. I know Tyler does too. Chris probably does too. You appreciate people watching?
Sure.
Cool. Thank you. You made the people at home feel really nice. Give them a cookie. You did well.
God awful.
But guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, you please leave a like and comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC.
I thought we were about to high five.
No, we're not about to high five. We haven't high fived in years because we don't like each other. No, but for real, guys, we really do appreciate you guys watching. Next week, we're going to be reviewing Venom.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited for that. That movie looks incredible.
Speak for yourself.
Incredibly terrible. Ha ha.
You sound like girls I go out with. But anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Too.
I should have known. I hope not. No. I've had girls that have had a little something up here, but it was not intentional. But guys, thank you so much for watching. My name's Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Chris.
Stay lovely, guys.